Today is looking pretty darn good. I'd say get ready for the next. Look at Coinbase. Coinbase up 12% yesterday, and they're already up 5% today. The market bell just rung, right? And we do have some good news from Coinbase. Coinbase had this big class action lawsuit brewing from investors because, you know, some of these guys feel like they just need to sue people because you know, they don't want to take responsibility for their own actions. But they were suing Coinbase, saying that they supposedly sold unregistered securities and improperly failed to register a broker deal. And a U.S. judge just threw that out the window. So that's great for Coinbase. They did nothing wrong, and they've been coming up, look at that, almost 6% already because, of course, crypto is coming up. That means their fees, the profits, are going to go up, and this is good overall. And remember, Cathie Wood's been loading up on Coinbase recently, right? She's been loading up on Coinbase in the 40s and 50s. Now we're at 70 already, although we're still really off from highs, but pretty good, pretty good. Look at Coinbase. I just started a stream like 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. It's at 6%. Now it's at 12%. 12%. Tesla up 5%. My open calls on Tesla is like crazy. I bought it at the right time. I bought some open calls on Coinbase too. And that is going crazy too. Man, Coinbase is a really good play in my opinion because it's just a play on crypto. If crypto's coming up, you know, Bitcoin's going up, of course, Coinbase will do well. And same thing with the mining stocks, too, for those of you guys that are interested. Here's a good chart comparing Bitcoin, gold, S&P 500. You know, last year, if you look at the performance last 2 years, right, Bitcoin is considered a risk-on asset. So if they had NASDAQ in here, NASDAQ would be showing the same thing as Bitcoin. So last 2 years are down. But you go back 3 years and beyond, it's no comparison to gold or S&P 500. You thought investing in S&P 500 over the last decade or over the last 5 years was good. Well, look at had you invested in Bitcoin 10 years ago or 5 years ago or even 3 years ago. Nothing comes close. And as we move further in 2023 and 2024 and we see the greens again, the 1 and 2 year are going to turn majorly in green. This is why Bitcoin, some would argue, it's not a good hedge against inflation because they're looking at only 1 or 2 year timelines. If you look at anything 3+ year, Bitcoin is the best hedge against inflation. No asset has outperformed Bitcoin. Nothing. Nothing is even close. So, just want to give you guys a reminder of that. Of course, a lot of people, the shrimps and the crabs and the sharks and the whales, right, all loading up right now. This is what us holders, what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to load up, right, when things are low. When crypto is low, when Bitcoin is low, it's the best time to be loading up, not to sell. That's the funny thing. The psychology of retail investors. Usually, you know, retail investors buy when there's FOMO, when things are going up sky high, right? But they never buy when things are dropping or low. And they do the opposite. When things start dropping, that's when they sell, right? But that's not the way to do it. To make money, you have to buy low and sell high. So when times were scary, even when we found that bottom between 15, 16K for months, right? That is when you're supposed to be buying, right? Some people get it, which is why you see here a lot of shrimps and crabs bought, but a lot of people didn't, and they still haven't, and they're still sitting on the sidelines waiting for Bitcoin to climb back up to 30 or 40,000, right? And that's okay because I think Bitcoin's going to go beyond, of course, but that huge gap between 15 and 40,000, whatever, right? That's a huge, that's just pile of money that's just lost, right? So I'm glad to see a lot of people are are DCAing, are buying toward the bottom. So that's great. Here's one that's just measuring holders versus traders. And when you have a huge deviation like it is now, it tends to come back. And when it comes back, what happens? Bitcoin skyrockets. That's what happens. that's how it usually is. This is just measuring coins held for over a year, under a year, right? Short-term investors versus long-term holders. And right now you can see long-term holders is dominating and continues to go up and holds nearly 13 million Bitcoins. That's crazy. That's crazy. But when the short-term holders start going up, right, that's usually when FOMO happens. When Bitcoin starts skyrocketing, that's why they cross. And whenever they do, well, then you have these crazy moments where Bitcoin goes up thousands and thousands and thousands of percent due to FOMO. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Here's one mining difficulty, right? The miners, they continue to mine away, mine, and they're just eating up every single Bitcoin that gets found through a block reward. I mean, they're hoarding everything. There's like literally no new Bitcoins coming into the market because all these miners, they're holding everything that they mine. So basically, whatever we have is whatever we have. That's it. The new ones, they're not going to be hitting the market. And then here, lastly, a lot of charts like this showing resistance and breakout. And we are right there. We're right there. This is looking at a monthly. Monthly takes a while, okay? But we're about to form a golden cross on the weekly. We've broken above the 200 weekly moving average. There's a lot of long-term indicators that we have broken out of or forming that are really positive traditionally. And here's another one that we're about to do, right? We're about to break out from. So these are all fantastic things. Bitcoin is definitely moving in the right direction, going up from bottom, and can continue for a very long time because we have just started.